So you have seen me do quite a bit of carving with the Woodsman, and I enjoy carving with this knife. When it first started off, it was more about doing wilderness skill sets, batoning, one log fires, things like that. And what I found is the more that I use this knife, the more I am enjoying the design, and I've gotten to where I'm really enjoying carving with it. So I'm going to show you a few of my older projects, and I've got a new project that I just got through doing a couple of them, and I think they're kind of cool. So I want to share them with you. All right, so you guys can see kind of lying around here some of the different projects I've done lately with the Woodsman. And one of the last ones was actually a ring that I carved out of this piece of eucalyptus branch. It's nice and dry and a very, very hard wood. I took a section of it off and carved out a ring for my daughter. And it turned out really good. She's super happy with it. But in the process of doing that on Instagram, I saw where they were doing a like a 3D wood carving out of a piece of wood a little smaller than this, and it was really cool. But they were using a Dremel and like specialized bits to make the cuts, and it got me curious if it was possible to make one of those with a knife this big, with the Woodsman. So I gave it a shot, came up with that. And as you can see, it's a little spiral. The piece starts from this side right here and comes around to there. There's two of them. Took a bit of time to get it done, but I was really happy with the results, so I gave it another shot and changed the design a little bit. Same piece of wood, but just a different design. And the only thing I used to do it was the Woodsman and sandpaper. Well, I enjoyed it so much, I did a third one, and that's this one right here. And this is probably the one I'm the most proud of because there's an actual spiral of the two pieces. And I'm really happy how that turned out. I posted that, and some folks were requesting a video. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. And I'm going to show you guys the steps, the processes that I went through to make this out of that. Let's get started. Okay, so first off, we need to put a circle on this. And what I've been trying to do is keep all the rings intact as much as I can. And to keep that little bit of pith right there in the center. So I think right about here. See if the pin will cooperate. Okay, so get that one on this side. Flip it over, and as you guys can see, there is a like a. It's not really a crack. I think it's some kind of a pith thing right there. There's probably a little limb that came off that. That's okay. We'll work around it. Go ahead and center it back up again. And draw that. All right, cool. Here and here. Now, the next step in this, I need basically like 3 circles, 3 overlapping circles. 1, 2, and 3. So what I'm going to try, that's too big. All right, so we're just going to go for it. First thing is we're going to put some cardinal directions on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, kind of lining up with that center pith. Continue that over here. Over here. It's going to come right across there and there. All right. Okay. So we kind of got our cardinal directions right here, so that way everything's facing the same direction as we're carving. Yeah. Straighten that up just a little bit. There we go. All right. Starting from this side, I'm going to make a circle here in the center. This is just kind of rough guessing. And then about the same size up here. And about the same size down here. All right. Flip that. There. There. And there. All right. 1, 2, 3. Flip it over. 1, 2, 3. I can use these as guidelines, and what I'll show you here. That's what we're going to try to do. Basically, we're going to follow this line here, around and around. It's going to be on the top here, drop below on the other side, and it's going to be mirrored here. All right, guys, here we are. I've cleared out both sides. Now the next step is to put our spiral in place. And as you guys can tell, there's going to be a hole here, there, there. The two, just like on this one, the two are going to be separated. This one started from left-hand side top. This time we're going to go right-hand side top, over, and then under the other one. I'm not going to take away anything from the outside just yet for stability. So at this point, I have to be really careful not to make the wrong cut at the wrong place, put too much pressure or anything like that, because things will start to break. I know for a fact this whole section here I can take down halfway depth. Same with this section right here. There'll be a hole here, there, and in the center. So what I'm going to start off doing is working this down and then this down on both sides. So the hole is open there and on this side as well. I used some sandpaper. Once the point had kind of worked its way through, I used the sandpaper to open up just a little bit more. And that's all I really need for right now, because the next step is getting the bend on these two parts and actually separating them. So I'm going to start working on around in here at the apex, maybe a little before, slowly lowering this, and then on the opposite side over here, and doing the same thing here and here, and to begin the twist and to get a separation between the two different little spirals.
Don't lose it, don't let confuse it. Only then you'll be God. Feel like that. Feel like that. Feel like that. Feel like that. Lay your arms around me and stay with me. Feel like that. Lay your arms and stay with me, baby. Feel like that. Lay your arms around me and stay with me. Feel like that. Lay your arms and stay with me, baby.
Here's where we're at right now. I've kind of separated in between here just a little bit. You can kind of tell as I'm starting to drop the shoulders here just a bit. And the idea is to get to the halfway point. So I'm going to keep opening this up and lowering these corners right through here on both sides until they meet at that soft center where that little bit of pith is, and then open things up just a little bit more before I start working on these sides right here where those two pieces meet. That is up next.
Throwing aside, I can't wait to start.
I'm not sure if you guys can see it or not, but I just got through the center just a little bit. And so now the next step is to round off everything as much as I can with sandpaper. And I just roll this up as tight as I can. And I'm going to work to open this up around through here, smooth the angles, and kind of see what the next step will be once I have this opened and cleaned, and see what I need to do to start separating, because I've got two places of contact right here and there, and I've got to be able to get in between that. So to start things off, sandpaper. Well, it's been opened up, both sides, and now comes a very tricky part. We want to keep the meat on the outside here and here as much as we can. Same thing with here and here. So we also need to open up space under this all the way to that side to actually separate the spirals. We're going to have two spots to do that, here and there, from both sides. And the best way I can describe this is make sure that don't push too hard and don't pry. Going from the center right there, I'm going in at an angle that appears to me will come out right there at that little, where the other twist is coming out at, right? Yeah, there he is. Okay. So I'm going to try to shoot an angle through that, leaving enough meat where it's still stable. So I've got my knife resting on my leg and coming in at a decent angle. And I'm just doing a half circle. I can come from the other side and do the same. That's something to really keep in mind on this one. If coming in at one angle is not working, flip it. There's probably access on the backside. So it's something to keep in mind when you're working this. When you get stuck and you run into a situation where, well, I can't get it correctly from one direction, flip the piece around and see if you can from the backside over here, somewhere that will allow you access. And remember, you're not just cutting and separating this one, you're separating this one as well. So you want to do the exact same thing. And as you open this up here and here on both sides, eventually, hopefully, you'll meet in the middle. And once you do that, then you can slide some sandpaper in there and open it up even more. One other thing I would caution as well. So you see, like, I'm wanting to come in and open this up right above my thumb, do you see where the edge is wanting to hit here? Keep in mind that as you're moving this around, you could cut into material you don't want to cut into. So always be on the lookout for that. And finally through, both spirals have been separated, and kind of a tedious task, just a little bit of the point at a time, working my way around, opening things up. And it looks a little rough right now. So the next step is sandpaper, and try to even things out as much as I can. And once that's done, we'll start working on this outside rim.
Call the police. Now I even can breathe. You love me and hate me, true me and false me, make me your shining star. Giving, receiving, changing, believing, only then we could start. Feel like that.
Point, the inside is all sanded out smooth to about a 220 grit. And now I need to take the edge of the knife and even all this up around that little outside line. I'll do an angle this side first, then I'll flip it, do the other side, and then sand everything smooth.
Feel like that. Feel like that. Lay your arms around me and stay with me. Feel like that. Lay your arms and stay with me, baby.
The outside has been trimmed down. Next step is to take some sandpaper, smooth this outside right here, because we have it's in a nice circle now. Just want to smooth everything out, and after that, guys, it's just a matter of sealing it, and we're done. So the last step is to take some cheap old super glue and lightly apply a coat all over the parts. Let that soak into the wood. I use the thin super glue because I want it to get into the pores of the wood itself, kind of hold everything together because it's very fragile. We'll do the inside first, let that dry, and then we'll take care of the outer part. Alright guys, just one last step. The super glue is on here, and now I'm just going to stick it on the buffer real quick. I mean, you could use a fine grit sandpaper. I'm just going to toss it on the buffer real fast on the outside, not the inside, because it's way too delicate. And then this will be done. It is finished. This entire brooch, or whatever you want to call it, little 3D sculpture was done completely with the Woodsman, sandpaper, and then finished with super glue. And I'm so happy with how this thing turned out. And here is all 4 of these little brooches completed and done, all out of the same eucalyptus branch. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it maybe inspires you to do a few projects yourself with a bigger blade. I think that big blades are much maligned in the bushcraft world. Obviously, they can do fine and delicate tasks. Anyway, guys, stay safe, take care, and God bless.